this is part of the challenge of working with these old police cars, is you just never know what sort of craziness these downfitters, upfitters did. Have the brake pedal pressed. You see the third brake light is working. Nothing here. Nothing here. Just the third brake light. Now the parking lights work. Both bulbs. Both bulbs. And we even have hazard lights. So the bulbs are fine. They work every other way. They just don't come on when you press the brakes. So let me know if you know. I'm assuming the wiring goes from the third brake light first and then down to these. Maybe it's wired separately, I don't know, but it seems to me that there must be a cut or break between that fixture and these fixtures. Let me know if you know how it's wired, because it's obviously not the bulbs and it's not the brake switch, because that one comes on when you press the brakes. It's always fascinating what you find in these old police cars. So this is the brake hot wire, and you see they have put one of these taps on it. I say they, I'm assuming that was upfitting or downfitting. I don't think it was the guy that I bought it from, but of course you never know. He may have been trying to do something. Perhaps he noticed the brakes not working or something. Alright, I figured out if I hook up that, which is the power to the third brake light, to this line, which takes back to the driver's side brake light, then the brake light comes on. So it appears that they cut this wire, and also the wire on that side, they cut it somewhere between here and the brake pedal. Let's get back to why. Why, if you're a downfitter, do you cut the brake light wire instead of just hooking up something that bypasses the brake switch? That's what you would normally do to correctly do. If you're wanting to wire it so that the police can turn the brake lights off and roll in dark, which is a normal thing. I know some of you that have never driven police cars, never worked in law enforcement, are going, you don't need to do that. But you do need to do that sometimes. So you have a switch, but that should just bypass the brake pedal switch so it doesn't trigger the lights to come on. You would never cut the wires to the brake lights, especially since they didn't cut the third brake light. So there's no point in driving with the lower brake lights off but the third brake light working. It doesn't make any sense why they did what they did, but this is part of the challenge of working with these old police cars, is you just never know what sort of craziness these downfitters, upfitters did. There's manuals on how to do this stuff, and there's protocols of how to do it right, but obviously some people don't know what they're doing and they just start cutting stuff and they don't know what to do. Unfortunately, cannot connect those. It works as far as giving you brake lights, but it bypasses turn signals and hazard lights, so when you're pressing the brakes you'd have no turn signal and no hazards, and of course you'd get pulled over for that too. So seems like damned if you do, damned if you don't with this. So I'm gonna have to figure out where they cut it. My logical guess is somewhere up in here, and that would make the most sense. If you were gonna put a brake light kill switch, it would need to be somewhere where the driver could access it. Along those lines, I found this connector here, and it had a little connector over the top of it that looks like it might, you know, short out or something, one of these wires. So I was hoping, well, maybe this would be the trunk pop, but nope. trunk still does not work with that disconnected. If you know what this thing is, let me know. If you know where they're most likely to have been cut, that would be helpful. If you can leave a comment on here. They call this the police connector, this baby blue that I'm kind of pointing to. It's hot when I touch the brakes. I will try to get a shot for you without blocking the camera, hopefully. So you see it's 13, and then with the brake pedal not pressed, we have 0. So at least to here, it's working correctly.